So this BAND-MAID Lollapalooza concert was pretty crazy. Uh, I will talk about. I'm just gonna do like a quick talk about it. I'm gonna do like a real review later. And if you haven't seen it and don't want it to be spoiled, then maybe it's not a great idea to watch this because there were some really cool, epic moments in it. My full reaction's over on my Patreon, but I'm just gonna go through the set list here and talk off the top of my head about what I enjoyed in it. Maybe this will end up being my review. I don't know. Okay, BAND-MAID at Lollapalooza. Wow. It was so cool to be able to watch it live on Hulu, actually with pretty decent sound. And, okay, so from the beginning, From Now On is what they opened it with, which is pretty epic, especially for a festival like that. No one's ever, well, there's people there who haven't heard of BAND-MAID. And so to open with that instrumental track and really show off the musicians first was so cool to see. There were parts towards the beginning of the concert where like it was a little bit shaky at first, but I would imagine the pressure of playing this giant Lollapalooza. Like the interview at the beginning, they had mentioned that they couldn't even believe they were there, you know? So the massive pressure of that plus the live show and like Konami was having a blast. So like you know, Misa is always super focused, but Konami's like spinning around doing like stunts on stage. So there were a few flubbed notes, but I mean, at least you know it's live sound, and they always pulled it back together. Like the longer the concert went, the tighter they got as they went. So that was cool. And not only that, are they playing for all those people, but it's also being live streamed on a massive media streaming service, you know? So it's pretty epic for them. Okay, so From Now On, epic. They went into Domination and then Choose Me, which really, I think grew on me even more during this performance because it's always been a song I've been like, yeah, it's cool, but it hasn't been one of my favorites. And sorry, Matt, if you hear this, but I don't know, it's got like kind of a poppy intro, and then I don't know. It's never been one of my favorites, but this performance, it really hit me like, this is a really cool song, especially for first introducing the band to people who haven't heard them before. So many dynamic moments. The bass doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo during that bridge is just so tasty. And of course, Konami's 2 guitar solos. And it's a really catchy chorus. Don't You Tell Me was the biggest shock for me. Because I've been saying this since I saw that, what was it, 2018 performance they did with the 3-part instrumental section. And they brought it back for Lollapalooza. Like, have they played that arrangement since, like, on recent tours? Because I was, like, mind blown when they went into that instrumental section. You got Konami. She does her regular guitar solo, but then it extends. Then Misa, they're doing this back and forth. Akane comes in with her amazing drum patterns that just make the section so much better. And I was like in shock the whole time. That was sick. Yeah, if you get a chance, definitely check it out for that. That was a highlight for me. They played Alone, which I saw they also played last night, the show Ryan was at. Afterlife, which I don't think they played last night, but I mean, a banger, you gotta have that. Then I thought Psyche said this is the last song. That's what I heard. So I was like, wow, short set, but I mean, it was a great set. They played No God. And did anyone else hear that? Psyche said last song, or did I just hear things? Anyway, then after No God, I thought it was over. It started playing this piano thing, and it's Daydreaming, which was another one I was shocked that they played at Lollapalooza, where, not everyone there is their fans. So a pretty deep cut, but at the same time, it's showing their dynamic range, their variety of music, which was really, really cool. It did seem like Miku's voice, like she was struggling a little bit to hit the higher notes today. I hope she's not sick or anything. Maybe it's just from screaming. Because Miku usually has a really strong voice live. But I don't know. Maybe it's jet lag or something. Because they just came back to the U.S. this week, right? But some of the high notes across the set, it seemed like they weren't as high as usual. But she still sounded good. Nothing was cracking. She was still on pitch. Dice they played. Always a banger. And then Hate. and this is like, I keep thinking we're at the last song because I thought that's what Psyche said. But they kept going. They played Hate. And then that also had a guitar bass battle in it, which was really sick. And then they brought back a classic, Freedom. Really good mix of songs. And then there was no drum solo in Freedom, but it was still really great. Then they played Manners, I think my all-time favorite BAND-MAID song, which I've only seen them play it live once before. I mean, besides the official live video with Black Hole, but that was really special to see that. And then they ended it with Endless Story, another one I was kind of shocked they did it for a crowd that might not be super familiar with them, but they did something really clever, and they played the the vocal sing-along part for Endless Story. They opened the song with that, and Psyche was getting the crowd to sing along, so they were familiar with the melody when it came up later in the song, and they were able to sing along even if they just heard a BAND-MAID. So that was pretty epic. Just beautiful way to end the concert. Then Akane had like a total flex drum solo at the very end, just like reminding people she's the best drummer at the festival. They're not going to get any better than that. Anyway, I know I'm such a fanboy, but it made me so happy and made me so excited for Sunday to see them in person. So anyway, that's kind of my off the top of my head thoughts going through the set list here. Maybe I'll end up clipping this and this will be my review, but whew, it was a rush, and I'm glad I was able to watch it on Hulu. So I figured instead of starting with the request on YouTube today, I'd do this little BAND-MAID Lollapalooza review, and then we'll move to Twitch and start the requests over there. So, thank you for joining me for this little review of Lollapalooza, and we're going to head over to Twitch now and start doing these requests. So, link is always in the description, and I'll see you over there.